You've had a few drinks, so let's go, all right? The origins of What's Your Plan B started about 15 years ago in a college classroom on the UNT campus in Denton, Texas. Caca! Right, caca! That is where my professional career began. I was a college professor. I've taught at a couple of other really cool places as well, but had the opportunity to get to know college students and ask them important questions like, who do you want to be, right? Turns out that many years later in corporate America, they still don't know who they want to be. And so I changed my business card, stepped out of the classroom, became a consultant, tried to be a super consultant. But every day I have the opportunity to work with people and ask them this question. As a professional, who do you want to be? Like, who do you want to be as an organization? And what we begin with is trying to diagnose this question of what impact is Plan A having on you as an organization. Now, Plan A is incredibly egotistical, very sure of itself. In fact, if it had a love language, it would talk about mission statements, hierarchy, 3,000-page employee manuals, right? Having meetings to talk about innovation, but not actually innovating. And what I found was the more people I talked to, the more they began to say to me, please help, because these things that used to work don't work anymore. In fact, there were usually a lot of cuss words attached to some of those messages because they're racking their brain trying to figure out why it's not working anymore. And I think I know why. Because Plan A wants us to be robots. Robots don't ask questions, they don't challenge the system, they do what they're told. But in our fast-paced and ever-changing culture, it just doesn't seem to be working anymore. So I want to introduce you to What's Your Plan B? And this is a way of talking about and thinking about who you want to be as a professional and who you want to be in your organization. Now, Plan B has a love language as well. And its love language is about reading books. It's about hanging out with cool people at Ignite, right? It's about asking questions, breaking the rules, learning from your mistakes, and telling your fear to suck it. So if you have ever been accused of being a rule breaker, a troublemaker, a pot stirrer, a scalawag, a rebel rouser, you probably on some level already get the concept behind What's Your Plan B. Now I want to share with you 3 people that I really think exemplify this idea. Anybody have on Tom's shoes tonight? They're rewriting the way we do business. For years, Plan A business philosophy said profits first, profits first, profits first, right? Well, Tom's is saying, you know what? There's another way to make money. And their business model says, give first and you will receive. And they're tearing it up like gangbusters. So clearly there's something behind what they're doing. Another great usual suspect is Southwest Airlines. I almost kind of stalk Herb Kelleher just a little bit. But what I love about him is he said from the very beginning, we are employees first, customers second, and shareholders third. And the Plan A business world said, you can't do that, it has to be shareholders first, right? But they knew instinctively if they took care of their people, everything else would fall into place. Now, someone you may not think of as being really innovative and sort of cutting edge is Best Buy's corporate office. A few years ago, they instituted a new work policy called results-only work environment. That's just sort of a fancy pants way of saying that we've realized 40 hours a week doesn't necessarily work for us anymore. Now, if you work at corporate Best Buy's office, you work when you want, where you want, and how you want. Just get your job done, right? They're evolving and they're adapting. So I want to invite you to join this revolution, and the really cool thing is, like, there's no pitchforks. You don't have to burn down anybody's village. You don't even have to wear camouflage. It's sort of a mind revolution. It's thinking about and talking about differently the way we see ourselves. My Plan B is really simple, 3 words. I want to educate first. I want to liberate me and you and everyone else who's interested from the things that are keeping us from being successful. And at the end of the day, I want to entertain you. Because if we're not having fun, what's the point, right? So if I see you on the street and I ask you what's your Plan B and you don't know, in the words of Matthew McConaughey, I'll say, it'd be a whole lot cooler if you did. Thank you.